Welcome to the Disney Hour Express podcast. I'm Abby.
And I'm Rob. We are two hopelessly romantic Disney enthusiasts,
Sharing fun stories, secret tips, and family travel experiences.
If you are a Disney newbie, or maybe a season pass holder, we hope you find this information helpful.
We turned our love of Disney into a unique boutique travel agency that books Disney and Universal vacations.
We've got a lot of stories, so cozy on up, choose your favorite drink,
Whether that be a cocktail or a hot chocolate,
and enjoy the Disney Hour Express.
Well, hey there. Welcome to the Disney Hour Express episode 88. Can you believe we're 88 episodes in?
The double ocho. What that means crazy. You could do is, right, you could every key on the piano for one episode.
Yeah. Yes. Very good. That's true.
Well, you could do them all.
Each would have their own special note.
My favorite was episode 33.
Why is that?
I don't know. Okay. I also couldn't tell you what happened or what we talked about.
What we talked about in episode 33.
I just picked it.
Well, we are diving into fall here. It went from summer to fall this weekend. How do you feel about that?
Well, the leaves fell, but it's also hot again outside.
It is. I can't say that I ventured out this weekend. I've been feeling...
was not feeling well.
Terrible. I feel like they hear this every weekend, though.
But this was a monumental weekend because we had both Nikki and Abby not feeling well, so there was no magical minutes.
That's right, folks. I am not putting my face on a camera this weekend.
And they did not trust me to do it solo.
So sorry.
No, he's just going to do too many weird things.
Nah,
nope.
You do something fun for sure. But yeah, it's you look outside and suddenly our yard is already covered in leaves.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happens.
Yeah, it happens. And boom. It also and it gives off like a different scent.
It does. You're so right. We're kind of diving into those fall scents, and we're going to talk all about scents today. I've got a new scent blowing in this aroma diffuser thing behind me. And I want to know if you can guess what it is. Don't tell me yet, because I'll ask you later.
Okay. And just to point, she has a new scent and I have no sense.
This is true.
Or what some people would say, I just talk nonsense.
All the time.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. So anyways, yeah, I mean, the other day we actually put a brand new scent in our aromatherapy diffuser downstairs because we were kind of dressing up the fireplace in fall. I've got this huge cauldron that like lets off fake steam and has this eerie green lighting going on. And
it's so eerie that our cat Freya drinks out of it.
She does. You know, I saw little paw prints coming out of there the other day. I'm like, oh man.
She's like, well, all right.
It's water. Water is water. But so I have the aromatherapy diffuser coming on, and I didn't tell half of us what it was.
Half of us. One
half picked it out and put it in, and then the other two did not know what it was. And you know what? They each walked into the room and they were like, oh, I know what this is. They were like, are we at the haunted mansion? And I was like, stop. How did you know that? Because it was the exact smell of the haunted mansion, which I can't even put into words. I would say, like, when I first put it on, I thought it kind of smelled like not a huge strong cigar, but like a very small hidden cigar musk smell in there. So I've been trying to kind of look up what they use, and they said it was actually cedar wood and classic vanilla because they're looking for that like kind of dead flower and graveyard smell. Because if you think about it, you know, the graveyard, everything is decaying. Mm-hmm. Okay, so everything here is like decaying. So they're looking for a straight up decay smell. So, but it smelled
decay.
Good. It wasn't like it was disgusting. It was like maybe the vanilla made it smell really good. I don't know. But it was cool to have this smell in our living room and just be like completely transported back to the haunted mansion. So Disney uses scents to evoke memories and create a unique experience for all visitors. And I know that we've kind of touched on this a little bit before.
Yes.
But I wanted to talk about it just a little bit more just because of how surprised we were with that Haunted Mansion smell. By the way, we got it from the Magic Candle Company. That's who we use.
MCC.
Yeah. So when we have certain smells, the olfactory system sends signals to parts of the brain that are associated with the emotions and memories. So in short, when we smell something delicious, we are often taken back to positive memories or positive, like think about like if you smell an apple pie somewhere, you're going to think about like the warmness of eating it and like the last time you had it and whatnot.
Yeah.
I have to let Molly in.
Yeah. And obviously that's an interesting thing. We've obviously just in dealing with our good friend COVID of the 19, one of the symptoms was that people were losing their sense of smell.
That's right.
And that they were saying, I had a particular coworker of mine that had it, and he was like, food just doesn't taste good right now. He's like, and it because he has no sense of smell, it really it affects it so much.
It did. And didn't you think that you had lost your smell too?
I did. It definitely wasn't it wasn't completely gone, but it wasn't something that it wasn't normal.
Prominent,
so,
yeah. And then for me, it was the food part. Like food tasted like I was just straight up eating like nothing. Like it tasted so bland and I was so confused as to why. And I think that's when it started to click that I had COVID because like of the food not being able to taste food.
So that's like kind of the negative, right? That's when it's taken away from you.
Yeah.
But thankfully, we mostly all have a sense of smell, except for I had a teacher that had no sense of smell.
Really?
Yeah.
How crazy.
In high school.
I don't even know what that would be like. I don't want to know what that's like.
People said they would come in and know if they were smoking or not when, because we're not allowed to. But maybe people were. I'm not going to say it was me.
Yeah, Rob.
I was a good person.
The number of scents that go into Disney are more than we can even name, right? But they are in the rides, they're in the gift shops, and they're even in the resorts. And you know what? I didn't think about how they were in the resorts. I didn't think about that at all. But I should have. I mean, you do buy scents that are resort themed.
Okay, they do have
I don't know.
them.
So they did testing and everything at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort, Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa, and Disney's Wilderness Lodge. They made sure that they had really specific smells, and even the hotel soaps were specifically manufactured to keep the same scents. So in the Polynesian Village Resorts, you're going to experience a citrus, hibiscus, teak wood, island fruit, and musks. All those scents kind of like combined. In the Wilderness Lodge, you would experience sandalwood, amber, musk, jasmine, lavender, and orange. And that actually really makes sense to me. I see that. And then
I feel bad for that princess. They had she was always in the Wilderness Lodge.
Jasmine, yep. And then the Grand Floridian Resort and Spa, you're going to have a green clover, aloe, jasmine, lily. I don't know what that is. And cedar, ylang and cedar. So that's actually similar to what they have, I think, over at the boardwalk too. So all these things are even down to like the hand soaps and whatnot. So I thought that was, wow, that was really interesting. And how much thought it's like marketing, right? There's like that correlation of how they want to be represented and genius.
It's one of those, I mean, obviously we could always relate like something from a long time ago from our past to the smell of it, right? It's like I could smell Yankee Stadium, the smell of the hot dogs and the, people and stuff, but like I could smell things like my high school locker room smelled in a very terrible way. But then I also remember when I know for us old folk, when we used to hang out at malls when we were teenagers, walking into the mall and smelling Mrs. Fields cookies would be lofting throughout certain areas of it, things like that. And that would get you in like, I need a cookie. And I need it from this fake person called Mrs. Fields.
Yeah, exactly, right up that alley. So, according to Aroma Prime, which is a place that makes these smells,
They're manufactured by Amazon, right? Amazon
no,
Prime.
isn't that surprised? It's not, but it's a totally different company, just focused on smells. Imagineer Bob McCarthy developed the smellitizer scent cannon, which could shoot scents across the ride track whenever the vehicle triggered it. So right, like if you're in a dark ride, like think like you're going on what's a good dark ride? Like
Tower of Terror.
Like, does Tower of Terror have a smell?
It must.
I don't know.
And it might be must.
Well, once that little sensor is blocked, and it will let the ventilation quickly, or like the smell will come out, and then the ventilation will like spread it. So with today's technology, they use like a lot more timer settings and diffusers so that it keeps going off frequently, and it can the smell can like linger in the air. And I know Miss Molly has an aroma all to her own. So a lot of the machines are used pressurized air and fans to blow the scents around and everything. And we have like this little diffuser behind us. So you can look them up and see how you can bring them into your own home if you like these different kinds of smells.
And Abby loves the seasonal ones.
Oh my gosh, I do. So speaking of that, what smell do you think I have going on right now? What does it smell like to you?
It smells like jasmine. No, it smells like everything. Ew, I'm not talking to the microphone. It smells like me not talking to the microphone. Is what it smells like.
Like Team Spirit.
It smells like Soarin. Everything kind of smells like Soarin to me.
Well, because Soarin has so many smells, and we're going to talk about that.
Is it not?
You're so close, because Fiji is close to flying over Africa is what we're smelling right now. So you're thinking
grass.
more of the earthiness with the fresh grass notes and that kind of thing. Yes, I love it. And I think I've said this here before, but Gap, when I was a teenager, used to have a scent called grass that everybody was like obsessed with. It's like, why do we want to smell like grass? We're not going to go roll around in it or experience real grass. We're just going to go spritz ourselves with fake grass. Anyways.
Oh, boy.
Yep. All right. So one of Disney's most notable scents, and I forget about this all the time, is the one on Journey into Imagination with Figment. Do you remember what smell it is?
Well, I mean, I read your notes. So.
Oh, you did? Okay. So at the end, right, they have the skunk come out. And so a coffee-like odor is actually used as a palatable interpretation of a skunk. I didn't get that coffee smell. So that's so funny that that's what it is, a coffee-like smell.
Because we
coffee-like odor.
Being these two crazy canines that are fighting, we've smelled skunk.
We have very firsthand experience of skunk smells.
Yes.
Terrible. And then it lingers. If your dog has ever gotten sprayed by a skunk, I am so sorry, because you just can't.
Yeah, you just,
so
no
bad.
matter what you do.
And then if it rains and your dog goes outside after they've, forget about it.
Then I'm just wiping them down again
screwed.
with the skunk stuff to get it off, but it still doesn't work.
The worst.
Again.
Okay, so if you have a solution for that, please let me know.
You have to bring them to go see Figment. I think Figment knows how to get rid of it.
Apparently.
It turns it into coffee. Okay.
So anyways, Spaceship Earth is another one that has a very significant smell that we've talked about a lot. Yeah. It's a burning charcoal scent, and it's coming from the fall of Rome, right? Scenery. And I think everybody kind of walks away being like, that was so intense, because it's the whole ride doesn't have really different smells, but it has a very strong smell there. And it's released released to the right of the ride vehicle. So it's released right in that area. And then it's sucked into exhaust fan to prevent the building from filling up with the smell, because they just want it right there.
The majority of everything you're looking at is to the left, right?
Yes.
I always kind of imagine, right, everything's to the left, and you're... kind of looking the other way. Okay.
Yeah. So that's a big one. And then the Pirates of the Caribbean has a really distinct smell too, but I find this more funny because the smell is the bromine scented water. I'm sorry if I'm saying bromine incorrectly. Is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah, bromine.
So this is used instead of chlorine because it's less harsh on the skin and the eyes and the clothing. And it gives it distinct damp and musky smell, which
definitely.
is like as soon as you get into that ride, you already feel it. And as somebody who has like asthma, I'm always like kind of aware of like where that damp air is because I might need my inhaler, but it's not real damp air. But the smell, I'm like, oh, okay, I can still breathe. Okay, so it's
funny,
so interesting
because you think of it as like obviously that ride's been there forever, so you think it's just kind of like an old smell, like this is just something that they do, but they want you to smell that.
Yes, they do. And I can't tell you, this is going to gross everybody out, but I can't tell you how many times on water rides that water, and I think this past time it was on Tiana's Bayou, like water has just like directly gotten in my mouth or in my eyeball. And I'm like, okay, and now I'm going to have the stomach virus. So I would like to just say that I am glad that they do treat the waters.
We got to get you to close your mouth on the rides.
I don't know. It's like when I smile, I guess my mouth is open or something. So I'm always smiling at Disney.
You know what? Just for Christmas, I'm getting you a face guard to put on the ride. Yeah.
I get it. I wouldn't want to like kiss me after a ride either if I had gotten water.
We're going to have a makeout sesh right after this.
So we were just talking about Disney Soarin because I've
also heard her upchuck recently. So,
thanks for sharing that live on the air.
Stuff
That's
happens.
So
look, you get sick.
I did get sick, but I got a migraine. So I hope nobody else out there is suffering from migraines this week. It was bad. Anyways, here I am on Sunday, just a mere few hours after not feeling so hot. So we were just talking about Disney Soarin' around the world because we have the Flying Over Africa going on. Disney, if you haven't been on Soarin', you're going to literally go all around the world. It's beautiful. And if you notice, they have kind of a hood that comes over you while you're on this ride. Not like all the way down. It's
it's like an overhang.
It's like an overhang. Exactly. It's an overhang. And that is where the smells are coming from. And so you're going to get all sorts of different smells like orange grove, saltwater, pine trees, all sorts of things coming out of there. And it's really it's phenomenal. And you really feel like you're experiencing this area because of the smell it's bringing you there.
It's definitely, it just adds to the memories.
Yeah. So like I was saying, like we use Magic Candle Company. If you want to visit them, magiccandlecompany.com. We are affiliates with them. You could use for a discount, you could use our code FTP Magic. But the reason why I started using them, we used them prior to being affiliates with them because I love to have Disney year round. It is so cool for your Avatar loving kiddo to go into a bathroom and have Banshee's Flight hand soap. I mean, it's fun and it brings the magic home. We love it. So I hope that you guys can love it too. I mean, the holidays are coming up soon and it's a fun thing to have around the house.
And
they make wax melts, they make the little diffusers, they make candles and sprays.
I'll put all that information in the episode description if you didn't get it or you want some clarity.
You got it. So over at Disney, they do have Smelliphants on parade at Storybook Circus. Now, this place has like kind of funny hours. It's not like open when the park is open the entire time. It's usually around 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. because it's like one of those what is it? It's not a hunt. It's like
it's kind of like a scavenger hunt.
Scavenger hunt. Yes. Thank you. I was like, it's not a hunt. You're not like hunting something down. It's like, hey, you're having fun. You're doing your scavenger hunt. So excuse me, the Disney Smell-O-Phant experience is an immersive attraction that enhances the traditional theme park visit with a sensory twist. This unique experience allows guests to explore environments filled with delightful scents that correspond to the scenes and characters they encounter. How fun. So when you go here, you're basically going to get, you're going to go to the front ticket booth and you're going to get a illustrated map of the land and a sticker sheet to guide you with it, and they say to guide you in your new role as a whiff assistant. How cute is that? But
I like it.
Very, very adorable.
We forgot to check it out.
We did.
Yeah.
There are 8 Smell-O-Phant statues that are scattered around Storybook Circuit, which is where you can find the whole sense and fill up your stickers.
Fill them up.
Anyways, I mean, that's what I've got for you on delightful smells. I enjoy it. It makes me happy.
We're just constantly walking around the house smelling things. We keep our nose up in the air. It's usually, a lot of times, it's Abby's great cooking.
I was going to say it's usually our 4 pets.
Well, yes. Well, 2 of them. It's the dogs. The cats are clean.
Different kinds of smells.
The cats are clean. Except when they're drinking out of the cauldron. And they smell magical.
I love it. So what's going on in the news?
Oh, the news. I love it.
The news.
It's definitely, if for anyone that's been to Disney World, and I'm guessing Disneyland is of the same, it's a little bit different clientele. Disney World right now is slow. It's just a slow time. It's like the middle to end of September. People are in school except for so it's slow. So there's just like a lot of, like, every time I go on anywhere that's been, they're like, another slow day. They're like, Tron's only 40-minute wait. Like, Tron's only a 40-minute wait because Tron's a standby ride now.
Yeah.
Right? So it was at a 40-minute wait this morning.
That's good, yeah.
It's something. Great. It's a great time. If you could figure out how to go, you don't have kids, and my hat's off to you.
I do know a family that recently just popped their kids out of school in the first month and just went because of lower crowds, I guess.
Yeah, and you know what? What are they really learning in September? It's just like kind of a review of last year.
Yeah, true.
It's like the last week of school. Like, it really doesn't matter. They're not watching videos yet, but they might as well. So yeah, there's been a couple things like King Triton has returned to the Magic Kingdom.
Oh.
Over there in that Fantasyland by...
Oh, he was gone?
He was gone, yeah. Which obviously we all knew. I mean, it's been like almost a year that they took him out. So they've repainted him and they've kind of like refinished him, and now he's back.
That's so funny because I totally have a picture of us in front of King Triton, and I'm sad I didn't notice he was gone. Anyways... Wonderful.
Oh, well, there you go. So it's time for little things like that happen around like Magic Kingdom. You might see more. Now we're going to cut through. We're talking Magic Kingdom. We're going to go overseas. This was this was Shanghai Disney has a walking and talking recycling bin.
Oh.
I believe it's called Jiatu.
A walking, talking recycling bin.
Yes.
Okay, so what does it look like?
It looks like a garbage can, and it's on rollers, and it has a speaker, and will interact with you.
And say, please give me your soda
bottle. You're in line
bottle.
or something. It'll come up and ask you what you're getting, and then you put a bottle in it, and it's thank you for recycling.
That's cute.
Isn't it
but
something?
It also seems very 90s.
It's funny. They had something like that in the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Called Push. It was it was a push bin, but it was called Push. It didn't move, but it talked to you when you were around it. It had a speaker in the Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
Yeah, that was till 2014, it said.
All right.
So if anybody out there, that was from 1995 to 2014, Push, the talking trash bin. Big time.
Maybe we need a talking trash bin.
Staying in Magic Kingdom. And this is there's one place that every time we're in Magic Kingdom, we always visit when we leave. Do you know what that place is?
One place we always visit
Every
before
single
leaving
time.
Magic Kingdom.
Every time I've been there with you, the Magic Kingdom.
The Emporium?
Close. It's just outside of the Emporium. It's the City Hall bathrooms.
Yes.
Because they're right outside.
Yes.
They're right by the left, archway, gateway, which is everyone kind of is like the exit. And it's always
and
right
it's a
there.
nice, tidy bathroom, yeah. I went there this time, except before I went in.
Oh, see, I'm telling you, every single time they go, they're renovating it, I guess.
Okay.
And I've never actually used it. I'm usually just the guy holding bags and waters. But they have a tree that goes up like through the middle of that building or something, and so like they're renovating they're doing something with the tree, and they got trim up. I don't know. Again,
Interesting.
We're talking trash bins and restrooms. This is September, people.
I know. September is like, somebody pointed out to me, and I wish I had noticed this before, but they were like, September is like when all the conferences happen because everybody's just like back to it, and like places are cheaper and more open and available. And I was like, oh, okay.
I get it. I understand. Over in Hollywood Studios, our friends Star Wars Rise of Resistance, they have the return of the single rider line.
Dun, dun, dun.
They were testing it out up until like the end of July. I think it was like for most of July or a couple weeks in July, they were testing it out, and it's now back.
Cool.
They said the people have tried it out. What it does is it's good in that it helps you, like you're not going to deal with any of the wait time. Like they say the wait time is cut down dramatically, but you skip the opening, the BB-8 and Rey talk when you're in the beginning, when you're talking to the Rey hologram. Yeah. And you also don't go on the transport. Oh. The single rider line brings you right to the starship. Oh. So you're coming out right to like the hangar.
Oh, that stinks. Okay.
That stinks?
Wait.
Explain like a smell-o-fin stink?
I'm just confused. Okay.
So the single rider line, you don't go in with the rest of it because you're getting paired up.
Right, with just single riders.
It brings you right to like when you're being captured by the First Order. Right. So you skip all that stuff beforehand. Yeah. And it brings you right out to like... Yeah, so like the big hangar and
I know what you're talking about.
And so you get in there and you get in a separate line from everyone else, and then they pair you in, and you're in that line.
Yeah, they take you one by one.
But they said the Rise of Resistance had like a 60-minute wait, and they waited 5 minutes to get on the ride. Okay, but you're by yourself, not necessarily with another person that and you have to miss those two things. But you could get on the actual ride. Okay, pluses and minuses. Advantages, not advantages.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like missing out on queue stuff. It's cool, but I get it.
It's true.
I get it.
It's true. So going back to Magic Kingdom, this was as of September 21st. I haven't checked today. There's only 3 dates remaining for Mickey's Not So Scary.
I get it, man. That is a really good party.
And this is like, you can hear all about the party on episode 86.
Sounds about right.
Yeah,
somewhere around
just
there.
A couple episodes back. It was a Disney, Abby's Disney Jaunt, I think was the name of it. Disney Jaunt with Abby. And you can hear all about the Mickey's Not So Scary.
Oh, yeah. It's good.
But there's only 3 dates available, and they are on October. It's a Sunday, October 20th, Monday, October 21st, and then again the following Sunday, the 27th. Those are the only dates available. Yeah. So, yeah, it's like all the midweek stuff and the Fridays. That's like a big one. The Fridays, because obviously people are off. Sundays are tough because people still have work at school. Unless you're visiting. Anyway, so get your tickets now. If you don't know how to get them, you want to get down there quick and you want some guidance, hit us up at Family Travel Planner. Talk to us on our Instagram. Talk to us anywhere. Hey, we got a YouTube now.
We do. We're out there. We're here for you.
Our podcast actually has some views on YouTube, if you can believe it. Anyway, so Mickey's Not So Scary. Get it while you can. They've announced some new characters that are going to be at Jollywood Nights.
That's right. They did.
Now, this, you would figure it's like it must be only, Christmas time characters that are showing up. And they're like, nope, we need we need to bring some life back into Jollywood Nights. So we're going to go with some heavy hitters. Now, what was the most popular, like, animated movie this year?
Oh, anxiety.
Inside Out 2.
Yeah.
But they're not bringing anxiety because
Are they bringing joy?
Joy is going to be making appearances at, but I guess that kind of does make sense. It's the season of joy.
And she's been coming and going here in the park, so it makes sense. They already have Joy costumes, so why not?
Oh, it's true. It's true. So she'll be at the Pixar Place. You could find her on Jollywood Nights. There are also, because nothing says the holidays like a hero in some armor. You're going to have the Mandalorian is going to be part of Jollywood Nights. You can see him at the Galaxy's Edge.
Weird. Is he gonna have like is Baby Yoda's gonna have like a little
Santa costume?
Yeah.
I mean, if he does, amazing. I want to be there. But you're gonna have Baloo or King Louie, and it says from Tailspin, but they're from
Jungle Book.
Yeah.
That's weird.
But I guess that's what people know them more from. The kids know Tailspin. They're going to be at Echo Lake. It's going to be either Jose Carioca or Panchito from the Three Caballeros is going to be appearing at the animation courtyard.
We need to go.
Can you imagine that? Then you're going to get
hysterical.
Bo Peep or Lotso from the Toy Story movies are going to be at the entrance of Toy Story Land. I mean, and then we talked about Mandalorian and Joy. Returning this year, you have Phineas and Ferb, Max Goof as Powerline. Above my thing. Rescue Rangers Chip and Dale. They're going to be around.
Yeah.
But then you're also going to have you're going to have Edna Mode and Frozone from The Incredibles. Donald Duck, Daisy, Goofy, Pluto are going to be at Pixar Plaza. Mickey Mouse and Minnie are now going to be at the Red Carpet Dreams on Commissary Lane.
Okay.
And then there's two characters dressed up as Santa. One is Santa Duffy. I don't know who Duffy is.
No, I don't know either.
Appearing at Santa's Workshop in Grand Avenue, but this was the big one, and we have to tell our daughter, Santa Stitch is going to be appearing on Celebrity Spotlight.
That's a big one.
Yeah, so Santa Stitch. Stitch is huge.
He's
just
huge.
Like, it's amazing like how big Stitch has gotten. I don't understand how, but it's like I see just more Stitch stuff than anything else, I think.
I know.
Because our Bailey's always pointing it out to us whenever we go. She's like, Stitch! And then she's like running up to strangers, like wanting to converse with them and stuff.
I was somewhat thinking about being Stitch for Halloween, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm looking at Santa Duffy. I've never seen Duffy before, so I'm not really understanding what.
Karen Duffy, she was the MTV VJ from the 90s, 80s.
Oh, it doesn't look like her.
Yeah. But so those are the characters that are going to be returning. Now, it's funny you were talking about bath soaps and things along those lines.
Oh, yes.
So Disney had a long-standing contract with this company called H2O Plus.
That's right. And everybody was wild about it. We still have some H2O Plus around here somewhere.
Okay. So did you know that in 2023, Disney bought H2O Plus?
I didn't know that they bought it. I thought that their contract was gone and everybody was like freaking out about it, which I think is why I put it in my bag.
They bought the company.
Okay.
So that they can keep the stuff that's inside and then change the bottles. That's essentially what they wanted to do. So Disney Cruise Lines were the last of the Disney properties to not make the switch. They still had a lot of H2O Plus stuff there, and they were just starting to put stickers on the Disney stickers over the H2O Plus.
Huh.
But now they've started, they have it's all like the Disney branded bath, it's body lotions, all the soaps and the body wash and all that stuff.
Amazing.
So Disney has all that, and it comes I'm looking at their body lotion. It says deeply hydrates and softens with an oceanside scent.
I could say that that's true.
I mean, hopefully it's not low tide.
Very nice.
Now, my last bit before we go, because these dogs are getting crazy and we got to make dinner, was about Universal Studios. We're heavily into the Universal's Halloween Horror Nights, which we just talked about in depth. The night before Halloween Horror Nights officially opened, they had what was called the Premium Scream Night, and it was a special ticketed event. It was a highly priced special ticketed event. It was $350 per ticket. But what it did was it gave you, so they knew there's going to be a lower amount of people, so it was lower crowds, basically, and then there was going to be, you got free food and drinks, and non-alcoholic drinks. And it wasn't like, they were kind of like operating at like a soft open type of level. So not everything was open, but the booths were open. They had stuff. And so people actually, I saw that some people attended it and they were like giving us their feedback. Is it worth it? Basically, what I got from it was that they were able to go to all 10 houses. They said that it took about 5 to 10 minutes to get through to the house. Like, whereas these people now are waiting like an hour, 2 hours.
Yeah.
And they said like the big thing was that it avoided the conga line that you're now dealing with when you go to Universal, the Horror Nights, because it's just like there's always people in front and back of you in the house.
Yes.
There's no separation. So, they said in doing this, it was just their party that went through the house.
Cool.
So they were able to get like the scares were like timed like when they were going through.
But I wonder if that's the video guy I watched, if he went to this, because it was, the houses were empty.
Oh,
they were empty.
It might have been
But the scares were happening too quickly, in my opinion.
Oh.
Like, because it would just repetitive come out. But I could see how it would work too.
So they said, so that was good. They said that the food, so it was kind of like, it was only the second day of their full operation. So they weren't fully, everyone wasn't like up to like, everything wasn't fully operating. So like the food and drinks, like a lot of the people the employees of Universal didn't know. You were asking them, where do we go to, where's like the majority of the free stuff? Like we paid for it. I don't want to pay anymore. And they were like, we think it's the booths.
Oh, boy. Oh, but, man. That's like a classic Universal answer. I'm sorry, Universal, but your employees need updating sometimes.
So it ended up being that all the food booths were free.
Okay.
And that whatever like sit down restaurants were open, they were running on a limited menu, but that stuff was also like free that you could get. But the problem was that most of it was gone before midnight. And this was an event that went from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. And like they were out of like everything.
That's
so,
crazy.
They were kind of like holding it back too.
Yeah.
You paid a lot of money for this and we ain't going to you can't get your Stay Puft Marshmallow s'more. So they were saying like, is it worth it? They officially said no.
Interesting.
Because it was, then they started weighing it out. It was like the price of a ticket and the express pass, it was still like $70 less for a single night ticket and express pass, because it's like $179 for the express pass, which is insane. And then, but they were like, you might have a better time just doing that. It's less money and you're going to get close to like the same weights kind of, but that you're not going to run out of food. I don't know. To me, it seemed worth it. I was like, if I'm going to spend $275, just say I'll spend $350 and get through all those, like have my own, like a unique experience, and then get a couple of free food. Like I'm not really there for the food necessarily. I'd want to just go on the houses. And if I could do all that in one night and make sure I'm going to knock it all out and have a unique experience, if I'm going to pay for that, I'm going to pay the extra $75.
Yeah. Oof.
It is early on. Obviously, it's still in August that you're going, so it's not like you don't maybe not feeling the Halloween spirit at that time. But
yeah, that's true.
I think it's worth it.
Yeah, I would prefer the less crowd and the experience and all that. True.
Yeah, so that's something to pay attention to. If you didn't make it this year and you want to go next year and beat the crowds, that's the way to go.
Sounds
and
marvelous.
That's about everything I got.
Well, that's it for us, folks. I hope you enjoyed the Disney Hour Express. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll catch you next week.
We'll smell you later.
This has been a Family Travel Planner production.